Are you feeling stuck? Like you had direction at one point, felt super confident about what you were here to do, where you wanted to go, only to find that you feel overwhelmed, stressed, burnt out, maybe even depressed. That even though you're super successful woman in midlife and you've been on a corporate journey or you have been driving this incredible dream business, only to kind of arrive there and feel like it's not anything like what you thought. And you're not even sure if this is your purpose anymore. And if that's you, then hi, I'm Jen. I'm the founder and owner of Laughing Lotus Wellness. I'm a purpose coach and expert, and what I do is work with women just like you who are in this space of trying to figure all of that out and supporting you in reconnecting that fire for success and purpose together at the same time. And what we do when we work together is find clarity. How do we get where we are? Where do you want to go? And how are we going to make that happen? Sometimes that's quick and easy to do in the same lane you're in. Sometimes it means we might need to make a little bit of a shift, but together we figure that out. So I know as of, so many hours across the couch from people doing psychotherapy, what we're going to talk about today is one of my very favorite subjects ever, hands down. And it's really about harvesting your goodness. So, your internal gifts. Why do I love this so much? Because it is one of the biggest, most powerful tools we actually have in our journey to living on that path to purpose. It's one of our singular biggest tells. So when we hear that idea, we think, oh, okay, so like this is my signal, my marker that tells me that it's something that I really need to be incorporating into my life. So one of my examples that I think is super funny is it took me till I was 40 to work out one of my gifts. And it's funny because it had been riding around with me my whole life, of course, right? Like we're wired with these things. So it's not something that was new, but I kept hearing people say things like, I just love your energy. I just love your energy. And what I heard was, right, my lens, my filter was hearing, like, you're kind of a spaz, right? Like, so because I'm high vibe, like my energy is, I'm clipping along, right? And so when I heard it, I didn't interpret it as a gift at all. I really heard it, and not as a criticism that people were saying something unkind to me, but I really definitely didn't hear it for what I think it really meant. And so when I went into my own energy work at 40, I began to really uncover like, oh, Jesus, I've been doing energy work and had no idea my entire life. I had no idea. And it took me to get my own work to go, oh, these people saying this about my energy was the energy work component of what I'm doing without even realizing I was doing it. And so I think it's hilarious now to look back and like, oh my God, all this time I totally thought that like people were like, oh, you're such a weird spazoid. No, they meant that I had a different energy about me. We all do. Here's the deal. That's one of my unique markers is my energy and the presence that I bring. Absolutely. Another one is I'm wearing my cape today. You can see the word says hope. This is one of my very favorite shirts of my entire summer. If you look back at my videos, you've probably seen it 25,000 times. Not embarrassed and sorry, not sorry. Because this is one of the things that I also think I bring. So all of us have a whole host of good things. I mean, truly, when I say this to you, one of my very favorite things in therapy over the years when I was practicing, and even now in coaching, it's really like supporting people becoming deeply aware of their good shit. Because people show up and they kind of forget they're like magic. Like really, truly, people forget their magic. You have something unique that you bring to the table that is not like anybody else on the planet. That is your incredible secret sauce, if you will. Okay. So I had a couple things I thought I would read because you guys like no, and then we're going to embody it in a minute. We're going to embody this goodness. So hang with me for a second. Hi, Lauren. Oh my God, I haven't seen you in a hot minute. It's so good to see your name even. I'm like, I can't see your face, but I'm still glad to see you. Still glad to see you. I love this. So listen to this. This is from Audre Lorde quote, and I think this is so beautiful. It says, ready? It's not our differences that divide us. It is our inability to recognize and accept and celebrate those differences. So, the reason I want to talk about that is that it's about when we see our own goodness, we can see it in other people. We want to celebrate each other's goodness. And when we do that, we're like, We're becoming community. We're coming together. And I love this idea so much. Like, but we have to be able to recognize what we bring and what we do. I'm just gonna say, hey, Lauren, sorry. The comments are like right below the spot where my phone is, so it's hard to see. So I really feel like it's important to think about this idea of being able to recognize, right? So one of the things that I do a lot with my coaching clients is really work at recognizing their unique talents and gifts that they bring to the world. It makes you a powerhouse. Knowing your own, and I'm going to call them superpowers, is really super crucial to living into your purpose because it's always connected to it. You aren't given gifts that are random. They might feel random, but they're not. They're always intended to support the very journey that you're on into living into your purpose and whatever the heck it is legacy you're supposed to leave here. That's why you're granted those gifts. So we really want to think about it that way when we're tapping into this all that's goodness. I want you to think about it from that perspective, using that lens. And this is a great, I love this so much. This is in that Heart Talk book by Cleo Wade, which I clearly loved. And she had to say this: when we overcome our fear of failing, we have the power to step into the magnificence of our resilience. Do the things you are afraid to do the things that feel big, do the things that show you what you are made of. You are made of great stuff. And so it's when we stop worrying about failing that we can step more fully into the things that make us who we are, the things that are going to bring joy forth, right? So if I go out in the world and I see all this goodness and I know my goodness inside myself and I'm not competing with anybody else because I'm like, oh, hey, this is me here and I've got these things and that's you there and you've got these things. And thank God we all have something freaking different. Because if we didn't, the world wouldn't be a very interesting place and it wouldn't function. So the neat thing is to really step into that embracing, like, oh, this is my signature magic. You have your signature magic, whatever that is. One of mine is hope. I have this obnoxious supply of hope. I don't know that my parents recognized when they named me Jennifer Hope that it was going to be such a huge component of my. I think they, on some weird level, some cosmic level, they kind of knew this was going to be what I was going to be talking about, and it's going to be one of my superpowers. And so I love obviously all clothing that has powerful words on them because I just think. Honestly, think about this. So silly, such a small thing, but I want you to take a minute and think about this. I'm out shopping at Target, right? Because who doesn't go to Target on the reg? Just saying. So I go to Target. I'm walking around. I'm getting my green key lime water. Love it. Getting my, what's my favorite snack? Popcorn, whatever the heck it is, or I'm getting my couple things. I'm grabbing my face wipes that I need to replace, whatever. And I'm walking through, and every single person that meets me sees this. Now, if only our gifts were this evident, right? How amazing and amazeballs would that be? Like, right? We could just look at somebody and be like, oh, your magic is your humor. Oh, your magic is hope. Your magic is your resilience. Your magic is your love for freaking animals. Your magic is like you are a mathematical rock star. You can do surgery because your hands are so steady. There's all of these things that whatever it is you bring, I wish it was this evident. But what I want to tell you is think about this. People are reading my shirt. They don't even know, right? This is the magic of it. They don't even recognize that they're reading my shirt. That in that moment, in a snap second where our brains are just highly functioning in the background, kind of just doing all its magic, right? It's like, oh, hey, there's that word. Hey, there's that word. Energetically, bam, right inside their hearts in a hot second, they're taking in this word. It's why I love wearing messagery. I just do. And I know it looks like I'm 15. I don't even care because I really want to show up that people can always see whenever I can find a really powerful like message, shirt, tank, whatever it is. I'm wearing it. I love that so much because it's actually sending out an energetic message to all the people that come into contact with me. And so, do you have to do it that way? No. Do you ever have to wear it? No. But it's to me, it's like a superpower. This is my cape. So when I wear clothing with words on it, it's like my superpower cape, you guys. I'm like, whoop, right? And right in front of me, you can totally see that this is something that I stand for, believe in, and want to live into. So I invite you, I was making sure ain't nobody else commenting because I could not see all the things. So I want to invite you to sink and settle for a minute. We're going to close our eyes. I invite you to close your eyes. I invite you to soften your gaze. You don't have to look at me in all my energetic weirdo-ness. You don't have to look at me because it's not going to be crucial to your journey. And I want to invite you to just sink into your breath for a minute. I want you to just begin to deepen and lengthen the breath, slow things down. As you're doing that, so I want you to just be slowing the breath, the inhale and exhale, even inhales and exhales. And what I invite you to do is try to do that through the nostrils as much as possible. I want to remind you what I defined harvest as, because we're still in this season of celebration, which I love so much. This is totally my wheelhouse. I freaking love celebration. Love celebrating the people, love celebrating success, love all of it. So for me, this has like been the most fun month of content because it's just so much time in celebration. And so I redefined harvest as honoring the abundance of resulting vitality and energized soul talents. Today, we're referencing your soul talents. We're talking about the shit that makes you who you are. It's your secret sauce. So as you're sitting here and you're extending that breath, beginning to anchor in either through the feet or the seat, depending on where your situation is physically in your body, really begin to anchor and connect. Again, even inhales and exhales. So grounded and rooted here with the breath. And we're going to harvest some goodness. So what I'm going to invite you to do now is I'm going to invite you to bring the breath right into that mid body. Below the chest, I'd say I want you to think about 4 to 6 inches, somewhere in there. It's between like your chest and your belly button. I want you to breathe in through that space. Literally bringing the breath right into and out of that mid body space. And imagine, if you can, a really beautiful light in this space. A really powerful golden light right in that center body. And so breathing for a moment here. And again, just imagine you can bring the breath into and out of that mid belly space, that like mid body, solar plexus. Again, with that even and steady breath, inhaling and exhaling out through the nostrils. And as you continue to breathe just this way, I want to invite you to imagine these words. Using my words as your words, if they resonate. And they might be hard to pull up today. Like maybe you're having a hard day. Maybe you woke up and you were feeling like not on the right side of the bed, maybe lacking some confidence, whatever it might be, wherever you are today. Can you borrow some of my hope? Can you borrow some of my belief and my passion for the fact that you are carrying around this incredible nugget of beauty that nobody else in the world has? I want you to borrow my hope. I want you to borrow my belief if you don't have it. So right now, if you don't have it, I'm sending you my love and light, my belief, my absolute certainty that you have got something magical within you. I'm sending that to you right now. And I want you to feel that right in that center body as you breathe in and out through that belly, sensing my belief, my hope, my love, my absolute faith and certainty that you have got something absolutely magical riding around inside of you. And what I want you to do is I want you, borrowing my words if they feel like they can work for you today, if they can resonate, and if they can't, pretend. We're going to talk about that when we're done. Pretend. I am successful. I am successful. I embody success. I am successful. I embody success. And what I want you to do is take a breath. And now send your awareness through the entire body and look for where you experience that. When you think, I am successful, what part of your body lights up? What might feel lighter? What might feel more vibrant or energized? Where in your body can you carry this notion of success? Sending that awareness out, just looking for a vibration, a color, a sensation. It can be any single thing. Where do you pick it up? And bringing awareness and the breath right to that space for this moment, just for this moment. We're not going to be here long. And as you breathe, rooted and grounded, now we're going to go to I am empowered. I am empowered. I embody empowerment. Again, that beautiful golden glow right in that center body, breathing in and out. So you got a couple things you're doing here at one time, right? And it's to keep that mind busy so we can stay with it. So we're breathing even inhales and exhales. We're imagining that golden glow that we might sense right in the center body. There may even be a sensation there. And then we're thinking these words, I am empowered. I am empowered. And now send the awareness out to check out where that resides in the body. Is it the belly? Is it the head? Is it the heart? Is it somewhere completely random you would not have imagined it taking place? And that's okay. And breathing and just bringing that awareness right to that space. That's all we're doing. I invite you to rub your hands together, creating some warmth and sensation and placing them right on that mid-belly space. We're going to hold the space literally for a moment. And hopefully feeling that breath, inhaling and exhaling right out through that mid-body space. So rooted and grounded with that breath. Embodying the sense of success, embodying this sense of empowerment, confidence. And the last little part of our exercise that we're going to do today, I invite you to really expand your awareness, open up the mind. Imagine for a moment as you're breathing here, listening to your intuition. What are some of your superpowers? And allow the words to show up for you, either as a picture, an image, an action. It can be anything. It shows up in so many ways, but I want you to expand the awareness, that intuition, just listening. What are your superpowers? What are some of the things that make you just wholly who you are? Like I said, one of mine is hope. So I invite you to imagine those words floating forward to you. Or maybe you see the action of you doing it and the word is right there. So we need to just pick up, harvest those beautiful words that describe your magic. Harvest those up. Breathing those in for just the last couple breaths here. All right, and then coming back into your space, you can wiggle fingers and toes. You can rub your thumbs across the ends of your fingers, whatever feels good. You can bring your gaze back up and slowly open your eyes. So I talked in that short little exercise about pretending. And so I'm just gonna tap into this one last skill, and then we're gonna scoot for the day. Y'all got stuff to do, right? So I hope you had some insight and awareness about your superpowers. I would love to hear you post about them if you're willing to share some of your superpowers with everybody. It's super supportive that people will feel a little more brave about being vulnerable and talking about what their superpowers are. One of mine's hope. One of mine's my energy. So I've shared a couple of mine, and others transformation. I feel like that's one of my superpowers as well. So I want you to write my ability to connect. I can sit and list. I want you to be able to list some of yours too. This is not about arrogance. This is not about bragging. This is is about being aware that you have things that you bring. You're not saying, again, right? I really want to challenge this notion as we celebrate. I know people get really funny about it. You're just celebrating your goodness without saying it makes you the best human on the planet. Okay. That's the difference, is having self-confidence isn't arrogance. So being able to celebrate what makes you unique and powerful as a human being and as an entity, is like your legacy living that you're doing here, is huge deal in your purpose. Okay. Again, it's like a springboard. I want you to imagine, right? And it's gonna like toss you into the universe. It's gonna make you super uber strong because you're really able to tap into those strengths that you're carrying around. Pretending. So when I was in my therapy practice in a really traditional setting, I saw a ton of teenagers, and obviously teens and adults both. But one of the things I talked a lot about, particularly with confidence and feeling empowered and things like that, was people would say to me so often, like, Jen, I don't have confidence. I don't feel good about myself. I don't feel strong. I don't see the goodness that's within me. And so we had to talk a lot about pretending. Now, that sounds terrible, right? I mean, like, initially your ears are like, what the hell are you talking about? Pretend, right? That sounds terrible. Here's the truth. Pretending leads to belief. And I know that sounds so funny, and it probably doesn't even sound like actually like a thing, but it is. Trust me when I say that all of us have things that we're not going to feel as confident in, or there's going to be traits in each of us that aren't as developed or as comfortable or easygoing as other things are. And so if I don't have a skill that I need, I'm going to have to practice it. And when I begin to practice it, it's going to feel like pretend. So really what I'm saying is practice. But what I want you to do is imagine what it would be like if you did feel that way. Okay. So this is like 4 coaching sessions in one, but anyway, it's okay. So I want you to pretend what it would feel like if you really did embody confidence, success, empowerment. What would that feel like? If you could buy into this idea that you have a mega superpower, what would it be like if you just pretended for a little bit here? Like, I have these things. I have these things within me. And even if for right now, this moment, I'm having a hard time biting that off as a truth, I can bite off the idea that I can imagine it, what it might be like if it was like that. And look around you. Sometimes one of the biggest tools we have is we can check out who we know around us that actually does embody it pretty readily. It can be somebody from a show, a movie, or whatever, like somebody that you have a friend that's like super confident in something. I am less spontaneous. I've got some really spontaneous friends. And so I love when I think about something and I'm like, I would want to do that. And I'm like, okay, I know Sarah's super spontaneous. Sarah would just do it. So I'll kind of harness like borrowing that energy from someone. And so if you don't have it yourself yet, friends, it's okay. It's okay to develop it. It's okay to pretend to have it, to imagine and visualize and experience it that way. That's one really powerful way to start it. So I want you to understand that you don't have to have all of this embodied to start. It's practicing living in it that creates more of it. Energy begets energy, right? So the more that we practice and immerse ourselves in these ideas, the more we're going to sense it, feel it, and carry it around with us. And so not only, the neat thing is it can help you harness what you have, it can also help you harness the stuff you wish you had. So if there is an energy or a quality in somebody that you wish you had more of, even if it's like peaceful, I wish I was more peaceful. And I've got somebody that I know, that I'm like, okay, Buddha was peaceful. I think about the Buddha. Or if I know a friend who's super meditative, super chill like water, I've got a handful of friends in my life, thank God, that are like water. I would look to one of them and think, okay, what would they look like? What would they act like? So we're always in this process, my friends, of growth and developing these things. So you come with your own set of magic, right, built within. Number one, I want you to take that away. 2, I want you to know it's okay that if we don't feel it, we practice it, we visualize it, and we imagine what it would be like to feel confident and successful and empowered. We imagine someone that does that. We do that breath work. We activate that energy space in our bodies that actually fuels our feeling empowered, right? We practice it and we look around and we go, okay, if I have these skills, great, I'm going to practice that. And God damn, but one of the things I don't have a lot of is patience. I've been talking about this a lot lately. Must be a thing for me, just saying. So I look around me in my life and I think, who exudes patience? My mother with children, one of the most patient people on the planet, like not even an exaggeration. I seriously, like, her quality of patience around kids was remarkable. So I might imagine, what did she look like when she was doing that? And then I can borrow it. I can practice. I can try it on, right? Like a hat. Like, okay, I'm going to try on this hat for a minute. I'm going to see how it fits and how it feels. So I really want to empower you and encourage you that I want you to, one, know what your superhero cape says. That's huge. And I would love for you to share with us, because people get so inspired by hearing you speak to it. They don't want to just hear me, right? I'm like, I'm snoozy. I've been around. I say all the things, but they don't hear from you. I would love to hear your superpowers. So if you're willing to share that, that's so huge. And so please do, in the comments, share what are your superpowers. Okay. And I want you to remember that we can practice them, and we might have to pretend living into them. If they don't readily feel accessible, that's how we harvest it. We begin to immerse, look around, check it out, absorb in, right? So if I see this, right, again, if I see this in my mirror as I'm passing by, it's my reminder. If somebody else sees me, it's my reminder to them. This is how we sort of can interplay with one another. It's like, oh, I can borrow your energy, I can borrow your hope, I can borrow your faith. Today, I encouraged you, if you don't have it, borrow mine. I have plenty to offer. So this is what we do for each other, right? This is also the magic of what happens when we come together. Remember, we talked about the differences when I quoted that earlier. This is how we really work beautifully together. It's why community and coming together is so important for support, because we're going to borrow each other's assets. We're going to borrow each other's amazing traits. We're going to take that energetic power from each of us and enhance the other person's power. It's like electricity. Okay. So I want to we have to close because I could talk all day for this. Is literally one of those things that, like, my soul, like, I swear to God, I feel like I have laser eyes because I get so freaking excited about it. This is so much fun to me, because watching people grab onto that awareness and watching them really fully live into their greatness is one of my very favorite things on the planet. I'm not exaggerating. I get so freaking fired up about it, because I really know that when you're doing that, you're beginning to really tap into your greatness, which is always leading you into the most, like, highest form of alignment. And also you living completely on your path to purpose. And so that's why it's like, ooh, this is like the money for me. I get so super stoked. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the practice. I want you to take those little nuggets away with you for your week. And I'm going to invite you that if any of this resonates, you find it helpful, I really want to encourage you to go over and check out my free gift. I do have a free gift right on my website, which is at laughinglotuswellness.com. You can find me everywhere under Laughing Lotus Wellness, but my website's laughinglotuswellness.com. And right there on the front page, I have a free gift for you. So if you want to go tap into that, there's all kinds of goodies over on my website as well. So just will throw you that as a little, hey, if you're looking for extra bonus kind of, support system ideas, they're all there. So you guys, until next time, I'm sending you blessings, love, and light. This is Jen. Until next time, supporting you on your path to purpose, and hope you guys have an awesome week.